It's so good to see everybody. The faces of the past, our visitors, it's good to have you here today. When Brother Gary asked me if I would share a memory of the church that I've attended for the largest part of my life, I told him I'd do it, but I couldn't think of a memory. I've got a treasure chest of memories here, and I hope that what I say about the memories of this church will resonate with a lot of people, not only just my memories. I'm not a speaker, but I've been known to be a talker. Thank you. So my ability to speak will be more of a conversation, I hope, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the past and how I learned to love this church. I was raised in a country church out in Allen County by a family that, looking back, you'd call us poor, but they never told me that. I thought I had it all. But I was raised in a church that by a family that I was taught to be dependable, that I was taught to be giving, whether it be a little or a lot, and it wasn't in money's sake, because in a country church, money didn't really matter. The preacher only depended on what the offering was at the end of the service. But most of all, I was taught how to pray. My mother taught me to pray for everything. We prayed for the neighbors. We prayed for our crops. We prayed even for the animals. My first answered prayer, and I don't know whether you all can remember your first answered prayer or not, but I prayed beside of a wood box in our house for a baby hen that had gotten attacked by a varmint outside, and that little baby was my one and only possession at that time. It was at the point of death, but you know what? The Lord heard that prayer. And that little baby lived a long, healthy life afterwards. So sometime think of maybe if you can remember your first answered prayer. I was probably 5 years old. I can't remember the exact date. I was saved at the big church, as we refer to it, the Scottsville Baptist Church, in Brother Clyde Gordon's office. And I was baptized at the First Baptist Church. And I joined there until I married and I moved to Woodland Heights subdivision. I moved right in beside Peggy Carter and Lex. Peggy invited me to come to White Plains Baptist Church with her. I did. And I recalled at that time the first time that I ever attended this church. And the first time, and when I speak of this church, I'm speaking of the small church chapel and this auditorium too, because a lot of my memories are in the other church chapel. But the first time I attended was for Coach Tommy Long and his ordination as deacon out here. I was a cheerleader, and the ball boys and the cheerleaders decided to surprise Coach and be here for his ordination. So that was my first trip in, and then Peggy invited me to come with her. She was a good neighbor, and I was a part of her family for years and years, and still am. We were cheerleaders together, and she's one of my closest friends. I was led to move my membership to White Plains Baptist Church because any little thing that I did out here seemed to be appreciated. It was a smaller congregation, and it seemed like that I just belonged. It was more the atmosphere that I had known when I was in the country church. In 1974, and I'll get sentimental, but Gary told me it'd be okay if I shed a tear. The greatest thing happened in my life. God sent me a son. And I was so proud of that young man. He was a baby, and I felt led to dedicate him back to the Lord because I couldn't handle it on my own, and I knew it. So after his baby dedication, and he started to grow in this church, Julie always looked at Andy and called him Little Andy. Did you get Little Andy an Easter basket? Or where's Little Andy today? Well, Little Andy's still Little Andy to Julie Long. I began, and y'all, I started this with 10 pages, but I've got it narrowed down to 4. My granddaughter told me one time that I could preach longer than Brother Gary could. So, okay, I began teaching Sunday school out here, and I didn't know how to teach, but it made me sit down and take those books that they were given to me to lead these young people by. I found that I did the learning. I only hoped that something that I might say would transpire to those young people that I was at the head of their class and trying to set an example to go by. As I've seen those young people grow up, I've begun to be very, very proud of the success that I've seen in those young people that I was honored to help carry through their school years from grade school right on through high school. They exemplify the love and the faith in their family. They exemplify it in their work, in the community, in the church that they still serve today, and in their schools. I was given the opportunity to worship here with my mother, even in the years of her dementia. We would come to church, and people would still love on my mama. And oftentimes, she might not even remember being at the church, but she could remember what someone here in this church had said to her. I never forgot that. AJ was saved, and he was baptized here at White Plains Baptist Church. Andy and Evelina was married here. And they dedicated both of my granddaughters as young babies here in this church. I have lived personally here, the good, the bad, and the ugly in life. But you know, the people here at White Plains still love me. And that as I have lived some of these experiences, maybe I've helped to share it with some other people that's gone through hard times too. The people here have never failed me with the love that they poured out through their hearts. We're not acquaintances here at this church. We just don't know one another. We love on each other. We really bring what church is to families. It's an extended family. When you think of your friends, the first people I think of is right here within these walls. We pray for one another. That's one of the greatest compliments I've ever received in my lifetime. When somebody will look at me and say, "Will you pray for me?" It's a compliment. But what's a greater compliment sometimes is when you can pray with somebody. Some of the most treasured moments I've ever had is praying with my son at nighttime, praying with my granddaughters, my daughter-in-law. I love it. Prayer is a connection. It's an experience with God. We continue to grow here with our family and faith, and I too have visions. I won't live to see it in my lifetime, but my vision is to see a big new chapel built here that we can reach out to more and more people in this community and share with them what we've got here today. sorry. What are real friends? Real friends are those who meet you at Vanderbilt Hospital when your daughter-in-law is giving birth to a premature baby that you don't know whether either of the two is going to make it or not, but you got church family right there with you, standing beside you and praying. It's those people who show up at your door with a ramp when you've broken a hip that helps to make it easier to get in and out of your own home. It's those people that bring food in time of when you maybe can't cook for yourself. It's those people who think that you can act when maybe you've never had any acting experience. It's been my honor to get to be a part of our Easter presentation. It was as Marita said, the overnight watch of the tomb. I got to be one of those 3 ladies that went to the empty tomb. It's those people that believe you can sing when really you just needed to have a spot in the choir filled up, or maybe needed an extra voice back there that could sing bass, or maybe could just pantomime real good. But I got to do it all. He believed in me, and it made me think that I was important. One of the most fulfilling things in my life was the first time I ever heard little Andy pray out loud in church. It filled my heart, and it still does. It's a blessing that God sends to me. I don't know whether it affects anybody else in this church or not, but it sure does me. It's those people that have left in their will amongst their family members to be sure and let Beverly have my green velvet jacket, because she always made me feel like I was beautiful when I wore it, and that was Miss Mariola Halcomb. There's lots of people that's gone on before that really was an influence in my life, and I'm grateful for it. We're all living in the moment, and we're all making plans for our future. But the most important thing is that we're all making a memory with every action we take. So it's those memories that no one can take away from us. It's the memories that fill our hearts. And it's the memories that we treasure as we get older. You'll look back on memories, and there's nothing like it to fill your time and to fill your comfort. This church, White Plains Baptist Church, encompasses many true friends and many precious memories, just as that old hymn song says. That applies to my life about this church. It can't be repeated, those memories that were made, and it's good to just give God the praise. I look forward to making more memories here at White Plains Baptist. Thank you.